Okay. Molweni, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Pinda Wandimdingi, and this is Wonders Creative. Wonder being me. Today I just it's Monday. It's Monday. Let me not say I just. Today is Monday, and I traveled back home during the weekend, and coming back from last week we had an interim review at school. So I think the conversation was now about making sure that I start building the building. We have a building project due in less than a month now, and what I wanted to speak about is something that I touched on in the last video, which was that I think I've found a way to mix watercolors and architecture, which is something that I'd been struggling with for a while. Not in my previous, I wasn't struggling, I wasn't aware how to, or like how to keep like using and adding it in as a pen, as a tool, as a toolbox. So I have been doing watercolors like seriously, like as something that I've been pursuing from 2019, and I used to draw like live drawing, and then I do my own exercises. And in 2021 I started this channel, and this channel was all about watercolor art, painting, and just making sure I get better at it. However, I've come to learn with time, it's not as simple as I'm just gonna do this medium and I'm gonna test it out. There's materials involved, there's tools, it needs space, it needs mental space as well, physical space and mental capacity to just be free and not to think too much, because I find with the water, sometimes it's just so beautiful to just let it, it has been close to 3-4 years of it, and in the 4 years I haven't merged it with architecture. Why? I would, there'd be moments where maybe I do a map, and then I just put watercolor, and I enjoy it so much because I can show shading and such and such. I think the paintbrush is much more, for me, it's a lighter tool than a pencil, but also still developing my hand, like my hand as a tool. And at the same time, there's the digital, which is ESU analog, but it's 2023. So softwares is not some, and also understanding I can use the softwares. Why do I antagonize myself so much and think that I can't use digital softwares? I can use them, and I'm actually good at it. I think I don't give it the time of day because I'm just not interested. But when I was given my first project, like my own first project, and what the project was to produce renders for a house, and I was sent drawings, and then I did it in a week. And in the process of doing it, the renders came out nicely, yeah, I'm just thinking, what the hell? And that week when I had to do that project, I felt, oh my gosh, I'm such an architect. I felt like, yeah, now I'm an architect, I'm busy doing the most. But I'd been busy with the council submission, like project, and I've been doing those renders, and here I am sitting and just like, oh, but I'm not good with computer stuff, I'm just analog. Actually, I'm both. I can do I can do you. I'm learning that I can do each and everything that I put my mind to. It's just that the minute I block my brain into, oh, this is what you're good at, this is what you're not good at, then I start to believe that. But with like going through my old work, I see it's not the case. But I'm making this video because I just wanted to touch base on, yes, the fact that I found a way to blend in the watercolor with architecture. Yeah, when I spoke about what I learned in the F&B, I really learned to just apply yourself. I really learned that. So in front of me, I took I have some of the work that I pinned up for my interim review that I just want to share. These are concept sketches though. These are concept, I keep moving this around. These are concept sketches and I'm just gonna go through them with you guys. Okay, this is the first one. I'll talk more about them. This is another one. This I did with my friend and I was basically sharing with her, but there's a technique that's really nice. This is also another one. This is also another one, and it's all watercolors. So I'm sitting here on my table. I have my watercolor palette. I have paper. I have my site plan, and I'm basically just okay. Let me do this. There's like everything. That KFC is just a recycling bag. There's no KFC there. This is a good angle. Am I gonna reshoot this just so that I start at this angle? Anyways, so these are the stuff that I'm going to share, and this is my table, as you can see. Let's go. I'm really bad at. I will get better at this. Not that I'm bad at it. I'll get it. There's some water bottles there. Yeah. So why did I didn't set up properly, guys. I am so sorry. I think this is better. Yeah. So let's start with this one. Let's start with that one. So with this one, it's all about the volumes, right? And then coming in, I came in with the coat, with the first coat, and then here, if you notice, this one is lighter. These ones are a bit lighter, and I'm trying to get darker there. And I don't think I did a successful job here, but it's just voids. It's a solid form, and some voids on that one. But it really started with this, the Binhai. It's a Bernard Tschumi building. It's called the Binhai Science Museum, and my project, there's certain things that lessons I want to take from that. And yeah, so the watercolor thing, I was just like sketching out, and then I was like, like I kind of need to show some, depth, because cones and voids, they have, there's a depth. So hence then I came in with the color, and then then from there it was haywire. I think then it was ingrained in my brain. It somehow was like in me, and then I made this while I was looking at some of Lebus Wood's work, and so inspiring. So I have charcoal on my table somewhere there, and I basically made the sketch. At first, like, I looked at his work and I was just like looking at it, and I went with charcoal and then watercolor on top, and I really like the greens and the browns on this one. I really like here, there, Not so sure about depth, but I like that the charcoal really shows the, what do you call this? What is it, the, you know, is it the cylindery, like the planes, because it's like it turns, it does that. So yes, that's what was happening with the sketch, and basically just here. I don't know what I was trying to do there. And then there's these two. We have this one, beautiful, right? It was actually more like that. Yes, it's like that. Right, let's see. And then upon further exploration, I'm like, well, what if you turn it around like this? What if you turn it around like, but it makes more sense to me like this, since I'm now my building is going to be a tower. But with like the cutting in and the thingy, like, no longer gonna try and do something like this, because I don't know like how I'm gonna build and like do drawings, technical. It's gonna be hard basically to pull through, but it was a really good, nice. And then the atmosphere, I just like came with the brush here, like it was like, yeah, this brush it was just basically just that, because I had some, because I like to use leftover paint. So I went, and just did that. And I really like how the bleeds, because it was a charcoal. It was charcoal. Is it ink? No, there was no charcoal. I came with, this is the charcoal, but this is ink. This is a thick ink. And then when you go in with watercolor, the ink bleeds. So I really like these like details. It's not something I can just mimic and just like put ink in. And I like the direction in which it actually looks like it was meant to be like this. It really does. And these are just like foosh here. This is really nice. And then the atmosphere thing. So it makes sense like this. It was drawn like this, but it can also be viewed like that. So this is another watercolor piece mixed with ink, and then we have this one I like. Why do I like this one? Let me just make sure that you see it. Do you see the whole thing? Do you see? So we can look at the lines, those fine lines there, that like show the structure, like the panels, because it's like panels. I think here it was looking at like the International Space Station, because it's a space where we're designing a building that's going to be a space center. So the International Space Station, how the materials they use for those type of things. And this is also from a Le Bus Woods drawing. And man, every time I just look at his work, I'm just like, like I want to do, and then inspiration is up there. But okay, so the elements I like is this green and orangey brown thing that was happening here, and then that I don't remember if this is me going in with a thin brush with color, or if this is a pencil. Oh, it's a pencil, but I think the watercolor bleeded onto the graphite, so it gave it color. And then some charcoal, which the charcoals can really be seen as an unnecessary bit, but it works. So this is another one, and I think they're starting to sit in with me, but these are all just for concept base, and we haven't like delved into the actual like building, how that's gonna come together. So it's just watching how they are informing how they can also like play a part in informing something that's going to be so technical. And then you have this one. Why I pulled this one, I did not intend to focus on this, but let me just make sure. Oh, I really like that cut, this part, the soiled bit. The browns are really nice. So with this one, I made it with my friend, and I was busy showing her, it's very simple, taking the shapes and you drawing from your model. So she had her model on the table, and we made it actually another drawing on my sketchbook. Let me see if I have it. So we were making the drawing together, and I just told her, take the brush, and actually it's very heavy with color. It's very thick with color, like you can just see, so I think her style is very hard. I noticed with me and the people that I show watercolors, maybe it's just me, I use just a little, but they really go in with color, which is something that I think is interesting when you paint with someone. You learn your style, you learn that you actually have a style. But a key point here is this charcoal, this white charcoal. It's not a pen mark like the other one. So it's a white charcoal, but it just added so much more. And of course, this is my favorite bit. This is actually growing on me. This is growing on me. But it's not the shape, because it's very like triangle-y. So this is not the shape of my building. This was something that we were just drawing on the spot. But I mean, it's the exploration of an idea. Is there anything else? So yeah, then I can also show just like some charcoal, just charcoal. So you have this. It probably looks like just a foam. Oh, there's another like watercolor thing we did. Yeah, we did that. And what else do I want to show you guys? Oh, I want to show you the charcoal bit, because I delved into charcoal as well. I have no idea what shape or what, I don't remember which direction this was gonna go. I think I still was supposed to come in with some color here, but I am very much confused as to let me see if I have okay, the other charcoal bits. Let me pause and go grab the other. I had more than this one. I just found only one charcoal, and it's this. Yeah, so this I think is still going in with that whole cutting in like the fluid into a void, but in like a building form. This is the only one. And then I bought myself one of these oil pastels, but these are like on the cheaper end. It's what's the brand? Dala is the more affordable. Let me use the word affordable. There's that other brand. It's just expensive. I didn't buy it because I was like, it's just to experiment, and I don't want that pressure of, because I feel like I find myself, if I buy something expensive, I find myself being very skeptical about myself using it, because I feel like I'm not gonna do justice, so I end up not using them. But I did use them, and with those, I did this, and this is the shape that my building is going for. But just to show, like, oil pastels are just, they certainly a vibe. Oil pastels are vibing. So we have charcoal, oil pastels. I haven't tried to mix oil pastels with watercolor, so I don't know, maybe it could be something, I don't know, let's see. Maybe it's gonna create something. Oh, okay, I just put a pink line there. Okay, So I think then it's something that I definitely will explore. Excuse me, but I have this book. Two of them. Actually, I have four, but the ones I want to show you is by Stephen Hall. So he's also someone that's been influencing me to just like really go in at the, or maybe I should just use this right now. So this is Stephen Hall. This is a book by Stephen Hall from the library. It's called Stephen Hall Scale. So it just has like some watercolor. So it's a whole lot of like exploring, you know, depth and void and light and shadow and space, basically interior space, what's happening. So like how he used the watercolor. You see the shading by the stairs to show that, you know, you can, because color can also do the drawing. And I like the reflection of that wall there, showing that there's light hitting the floor. I mean that the light passes this way. You can see with how he left this bit white and then this bit gray. And I like completely blank to show light. Then the gray is the shadow, I think. Then the darker the gray, the light is like there's no light hitting there, so it's shadier areas. Then there's some people for scale reference. Interesting that there's also the yellow, because now it's three colors. It's the white, it's the grays, it's the darkish grays, and then the yellow. So gradients is something that he's also good with. But yeah, so this is the book from the library, and let's I feel so awkward. I feel so awkward. But yeah, like the atmosphere. This is like a drawing of the building, maybe from outside. Yes, it is outside. And you see how the sky is not necessarily blue like the normal sky. It's like a, you know, so definitely that influenced this one. See, the atmosphere element of it. I'm not saying I'm as good as this. I mean, these are really good. They look basic, but they're good. This is also another really good one. So taking the sketch model, so this like the sketch model that I have, and then like we look at it from different angles, and the way the light hits this model, okay, it bounces to the corner. I make annotations like that, so it's like sketch pictures. So like cut out this way, cut out that way, cut out top view, cut out bottom view, you know, cut out inside. So it kind of looks like a snapshot, and the gradiency is really something to. So Stephen Hall, yes. There's another book by Stephen Hall that I took from the library, and yeah, and these are like much neater ones now. So the watercolor drawings have leveled up. You can see like the middle one looks very nice and serious. So now the floor is like a whole different type of color, but the gradiency and the reflection on the interior spaces, these are like, yeah, these are like neater. Look at this. Oh my goodness, this is a hand drawing, guys. This is a whole hand drawing, and would you look at how, so now developing. So I think that's where I'd like to move in as well. But however, I need to understand how my building is going to come together and all of that. So I thought that I'd give myself, sorry, I'm just looking to see if there's any other examples to show. Okay, it's okay. So it's these two books that I got from the library, and I'll be using them throughout this whole project so that I keep referencing back to. So once again, oil pastels. So that was watercolor, oil pastel in the mix, watercolor, charcoal, light pencil marks, and then a full-on charcoal, and then watercolor voids, and then yeah, that's basically what I wanted to share today. I am in the process of working on this thing, so the difficulties in having because I use this phone. This phone was meant to be a camera, and I had my own phone, but I broke my phone. So now this phone is a phone and a camera. So I think when my sister gets back, I will ask her for assistance. But basically my plan is to keep documenting. I am documenting the process, here and there. I'm not promising to be saying, oh no, I have videos I've been taking since the whole thing. I have the whole thing on lock. I have moments. I've done my best, to take moments here, there and there. And we're gonna have, a more thorough discussion on the actual project. I know right now you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, but it's essentially a building, and I'm still designing it. Right now this is where it's at. It's this guy and this other guy, literally. So it's still in the. Are these sitting right? Yeah, it's still in the sketch. It's still very much. It needs to develop. It needs to go on the computer. I use the software ArchiCAD. I am also very well versed in Revit, but I haven't used Revit in 2 years. So Revit is like driving. If you stop using Revit, I don't know what's waiting for me when I get back on the software. But computer is a drawing tool because you're drawing with the mouse. That's a tool of its own. Then there's the paintbrush. Using a paintbrush, that's a tool of its own. Then I'm making sketch models, which is cutting craft knife, which is a language of its own, sketch models. And then what do you do with the sketch models? Then you look at it again and you sketch right now. Oh my goodness, I could make a sketch right now because I'm looking at this, right? I'm looking at it, and the way the light is hitting the inside of the volumes. So I can try and make a sketch of that and go over with color, lessons from Stephen Hall. But before I get carried away, so architecture is basically just the culmination of all these things you keep learning over time. And not to say I'll stop, because I have plans to do the sketch diaries and continue with that. But yeah, even the sketch diaries might be now a thing of, we have a sketch diary and we're painting on my section. We're drawing a section of my building. We're drawing an interior moment like the restaurant or the offices. I don't know, like a plan, and we're just trying to do a watercolor plan. There's some really interesting floor plans I've seen. That floor plans like depth and all that stuff. But this has just been a quick chat on. I really am committed to being transparent in my process and the work that I do. However, it takes a while, and it is taking a while. So both those words in conjunction with the other, it's just taking a while. Like on a day, if I commit to just leaving the camera on, just leaving it there so that I just work, it takes 2 hours, and then I take that footage and then I save it. So I have no idea how I'm gonna stitch everything and how I'm gonna share everything. Am I gonna make like a series? Am I gonna share them as episodes? but I'm proud that there has been clips along the way. I didn't, what didn't I do? I didn't record for my interim review. I didn't record a video because, so much, yes, so much happens, yes, I know, and I could have done a bit better, I could have really done my best. Like, the lighting is somewhat so good at this spot. I remember when I held the camera up here. Like, look at that, how unfair is that? Anyways, I'm sorry about the kitchen. I am so sorry about the kitchen. Let me do this. I just got home, so I'm gonna fix the kitchen up. Let's do that. So to end this video, I just wanted to just quickly catch up, do a brief catch up. I feel like the video is like slanting because of how I've placed everything. My table is back to just, guys, I'm disappointed in myself. My table is back to just being a mess. Yes, it's a mess, and the bookshelf is a little bit clean, but I'll clean it again. I am like taking clips, and we'll talk more about the process, but just wanted to share, some good news, my little sketches like that I have. I am actively still drawing. I've been drawing this entire year. If I haven't been drawing in a way that I could be as transparent to show on camera, because as a designer, we have to be very considerate in how we share or showcase our work. So, the pressures of having it done right is also the reason why it's sometimes so hard to get into it. But it's getting there. And school's just been, school is just hectic at the moment, but we'll get there, and when I can, I'll find the time just after my exams, because I also just want to resume my business, my clothing business. We have to talk about that as well. But I just, like, when it comes to clothes and fashion, it's a whole nother layer of me. I don't know where and how I can unpack for you and tell the story of how it started, where it is, but just know One Day's Closet, which is me, there's One Day's Creative, One Day's Closet, it's actually at the point now that it's working on its own. Like, people now recognize me for the clothes I wear, and they want me to buy clothes for them. So the advertising bit of it, because when I started, it was having to get the name out there, and I was getting clothes, but people were not buying or stuff like that. But actually, it's doing well in terms of that aspect, but then I need storage, I need this inventory, I need stock to stock new items, I need an iron, I need to photograph clothes because it's an online store, and then get back to PEP and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is that's a whole that's a whole other department. But fashion, painting, architecture, they're all one. So actually, I've found a way to instill fashion and architecture together. So in the way I present myself, and I present myself in a very neat and not now like artistic, but as a designer, because there's a difference between a designer and an artist. I think I've been leaning more towards wanting to be this artist, but I am a designer, but now it was a thing of how do you infuse the artisan that's you into, your design, because they meet in the word craftsmanship. At the end of the day, it's all about craft, in the craft that you make. So my craft is buildings and designing, basically. That's my craft. I am able to design and create from my imagination. So I've seen that manifest itself in the way I pick out clothes for myself, not for anyone else. I wasn't one to profess that, oh, I'm such, a fashionista, but it's something that people kept like, oh, like, like how you put things together. So it was understanding that there is something that's marketable. I have something marketable from me, in which also in architecture, making renders, that's a marketable aspect that I'd been neglecting, that I realized last year that I actually have this. So I think coming into myself and growing as this artisan, this craftsman, this designer that I am, I'm now establishing thoughts. Okay, this is me. Okay, who is me? This is me. What do I like? And keep going to the things I like. Hence the commitment to watercolors since 2019. And it wasn't smooth sailing, but 2019 and 2020, ooh, every time I look at those archives, I'm just like, yes, girl, you are focused. You're a focused hand. So it's focusing on the things I like and keep gravitating towards them. Then they will reveal, they'll keep making hints on who I am becoming or who I am. They keep telling me, oh, okay, this is where it's at. So with architecture, there's Stephen Hall, there's Lebus Woods, and then there's people on the other extreme. There's Miss van der Rohe, there's there's, I don't want to say Le Corbusier. There's Le Corbusier, there's Kazuya, and then there's Kengo Kuma, there's Tadeo Ando Concrete, there's different Shigeru Ban Timber, and all these architects like Shigeru Ban Timber, paper tubes, curtain walls. You have Junior Ishigami, paper, light structures, airy architecture. So Upinda, I don't know the architecture I'm gonna delve in, but I think with me delving into painting and then also realizing, like even with the kitchen study, I really like the kitchen study, that drawing we did in March. So I'm interested in interior spaces. I'm interested in how people use spaces. So I'm more delicate in making sure that if I was to maybe design a student res for people, I would make sure that I catered to the ergonomics, prioritize the ergonomics. Not that I am in charge of the space, if you allocated the space, but how do you creatively, So the type of architecture that I am interested in, I can't grasp on it. Before I thought it was landscape. And I still am like very much a pedestrians, prioritize what's happening in the street, how does everything else, contribute today. And then later on, it's like, well, I like structures. I really like architecture-looking structures. So it's developing, and it will tell me. So it's just a matter of gravitating to the things I like, and hence finding people like Stephen Hall, watercolor, Linda Bobardi. She was a female architect based in Brazil. So looking at those people's work and keep drawing. So I think all of that just happened in the space of like all those images that I showed you, taking in that influence and trying to create and morph something out of it. So this channel, I have no idea what it's going to morph into. When I started it, I never thought I'd even show my face. I never thought I'd talk to the camera like this. I always was just like, we're going to be working, we're going to be drawing. But what have I learned? I learned that I am a slow person, and the things I want to do take a lot of time. So in learning to get to those things, I want to talk about it. I want to talk about the fact that I'm struggling. I don't have a tripod. I'm struggling. I don't have a lighting. I don't have a ring light. I'm struggling. I don't have space. I needed space to have this workspace. So I built up, not necessarily built, physically built up, but I found space. I was given space by my sister, and that took its time. And, so eventually, I think I'm starting to believe I'll have my own studio, not art studio, studio. It will be my architecture studio. I will get to my own practice, and I think I'm seeing that I am slowly building up my practice, and in documenting this, I'm also seeing blatantly where I'm headed, so I like it. I'm so proud of it. I'm proud of how far I've come. Like, I'm feeling emotional just thinking about the fact that I'm able to get materials. If I want oil pastels, and I try them, even though I'm getting the cheap ones, I'm able to do that now. Like, it took a while. It will take a while longer still, to get as further to the places that I want to get to in terms of producing the kind of work that I want to produce. And as I now walk into the spaces that I want to be walking into, I'm learning and finding more things about myself. But this is who you are. This is where you headed. And learning about business from my fashion thing, I've learned a lot about myself. Business needs a lot of discipline. It needs a lot of, intentionality, marketing. There's aspects of me that just flourish, and there's aspects of me that are just not flourishing. And then, so now the painting has moved back into the architecture. The clothes have been in the architecture side, and I think once I buy a sewing machine and I start physically making the clothes I want, like maybe I'll start with the recycled bits that the ones, the second hand, and upcycle them. I think that's when I will be morphing the architecture into it. Start seeing how can I use fabric as a pen, as a brush. How can I start making the jackets and the blazer that I like so much that I want to wear, the things I want to try. How can I rip that? Can I wear the shirt like this? Can I, so I think with fashion, it's a thing of now I need to make the pieces that speak to, that I want to wear. Because as a creator, we understand we can never afford, like maybe in 20 years I'll afford Chanel, maybe. But the reality of life is that for us creatives, I think for some of us why we create from our imagination is because that's the only way you can actually access the unimaginable. I mean, the things that are inaccessible, let me say, sorry. The things that are not accessible to us. So I can't access Chanel or Gucci or Versace, but what do I like from Chanel, Versace, and Gucci? Do I like the silhouette? Oh my gosh, I like latex. I like leather from YSL. So what materials can I get? Like, how can I make my own? Take that inspiration and create, my own things that I get to wear now. Because I'm not going to be this age forever, and I'm not going to be waiting to wear those. Like, I don't have 10,000 to buy a skirt. So, but I have a pencil and paper, and I can draw that skirt. From drawing that skirt, I can make a pattern. I can outsource material and wear the skirt. Hello, so what did I just do there? Also wear the skirt. So I think I'm finally seeing the culmination of all my interests coming to one place. And I'm not promising to be so consistent, but when I can. And speaking on to when you can't, talk about it. Talk about why you can't. Talk about the struggles and where you are. That okay, I don't have these tools. I don't have that. I don't have that. If I'm all over the place, I'm so sorry, but I was just hoping to just keep in the momentum of just having conversations, light conversations. The real talk is coming with this building. We're gonna have real talk in this building, and it would be nice. It would be so nice if I could record my exam. That would be a dream come true, actually. And then we all talk about what they said to me. They, like you guys, so you guys see my world, because I think that's just yay. We get criticized a lot. It's different, and we keep saying it's different, but it's one thing if I say it's different and then I show you just how different it is. But I think I'm in a good headspace. I'm positive, and I don't want to waste my time dwelling on the negatives. There's a lot that I can't do. There's way much that I can't do. I've had a lot of failures. Things I'm consistently failing at as we speak. I'm never going to be this idea that my younger self thought I would be. But with what I have, with where I am, what can I do? How can I live out my life to the fullest with what I have and where I am? And I think it speaks to why I stuck with architecture, because I wanted to quit. Well, wanted to quit. I think I had quit. Let me rephrase. I did quit. So I went back. Why did I go back? Because it gives you the power to change a reality. Being able to build is just a very important skill, so might as well. I mean, even if after these exams I decide not to do architecture anymore, the skills that I've learned so far, being able to build and create, like now I'm saying I know that I can start making clothes as well, is all from the thinking that I grasped from architecture school. So if you can't afford it, you can draw it, and then after drawing it, look around, you could, it's shifting the perspective of this idea of you're this person. Well, if you can imagine it, then you can be anything you want to be. I hope that you guys are good, and if this video does not serve you and it's not the type of niche that you want to be getting from this channel, and I don't know, I hope you find the niche that works for you as well, because life is all about testing and seeing where you fit. But I think on the next one, maybe it will be when I draw the section, because now I'm making the sketch models and I don't have my laptop, otherwise I would have been recording. So when the next video happens, it will happen, and I'll talk to you guys then. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching, and I will definitely see you on the next one. Bye for now. Mwah.